March 4, 2025, Serbia's National Assembly erupts into absolute chaos. Smoke fills the chamber. Lawmakers push, shove, and scream. And then, boom. A second smoke bomb goes off. This is not a war zone. This is a European Parliament in crisis. But Serbia is not alone. Just over a year ago, Albania witnessed a nearly identical scene, lawmakers igniting flares, choking smoke engulfing their assembly. So, what's happening in Europe? Why are politicians, the supposed guardians of democracy, turning parliaments into battlegrounds? It all started with growing discontent in Serbia. After a tragic infrastructure collapse killed 15 people, anger boiled over. Citizens blamed government corruption. Protests filled the streets. And inside the parliament, the opposition took drastic action, throwing smoke bombs to disrupt proceedings. The result? Absolute mayhem. Members of parliament suffered a stroke. 3 others were injured. And the Serbian government condemned it as terrorism inside the legislative body. But to the opposition, this wasn't an attack. It was resistance. This wasn't the first time Europe saw such chaos. In December 2023, Albania's parliament turned into a battlefield. Lawmakers ignited flares, setting off small fires. They were protesting the government's decision to strip ex-Prime Minister Salih Berisha of his legal immunity. Opposition MPs argued it was politically motivated, an attempt to silence dissent. The ruling government, on the other hand, called it a necessary legal move. But just like in Serbia, the chaos overshadowed the debate. And the real question remained unanswered: why are parliaments in Europe breaking down like this? These aren't isolated incidents. Across Europe, political tensions are reaching a boiling point. But why? Here's what's fueling the fire. Growing political polarization, governments accused of authoritarianism, while opposition parties claim they're being silenced. Weakened trust in democracy, citizens losing faith in the system, leading to more aggressive protests. Economic struggles and social unrest, rising inflation, job losses, and corruption scandals feeding frustration. When democratic institutions fail to address public grievances, protests spill into the streets. And when that frustration reaches the lawmakers themselves, parliament floors turn into battleground. So, what happens next? Will more governments face these violent disruptions? Could this spiral into greater instability across the continent? And more importantly, if politicians are setting this example, what does that mean for democracy itself? Europe is at a crossroads. These events are more than just viral moments, they are warning signs. So we ask you, our viewers, is democracy under threat? Are these opposition protests justified, or are they an attack on democracy itself? Let us know in the comments. Let's start a conversation.